Today on an all-new Dr. Phill.
Many children think it's just a game, getting a rush from fainting.
The Blackout Challenge encourages children to suffocate themselves until they black out. He had a stopwatch.
He was trying to time himself.
Our son Tate passed away.
I unfortunately found him. There's no words to describe the nightmares.
When you're talking about holding these people accountable, they need to be held accountable. Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today is going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
Get ready to take care of you. Throughout the years, many different social media challenges have emerged. Back in 2014, everyone was talking about the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge, and I even got in on the action myself. While viral challenges are not new, we have seen an extreme progression over time. Society has gone from pouring water over their heads to raise money for a good cause, to eating laundry detergent, and even cooking chicken with cold medicine. Take a look.
The nation's largest labor union is urging social media companies to crack down on a new craze, which dares students to vandalize schools.
What the is going on, bro?
Hundreds of soap dispensers, paper towel dispensers, toilet paper rolls have been, ripped off of walls.
Now some schools worry that the trend may affect personnel. With the latest rumored viral challenge, slap a teacher.
This guy is putting his life at risk. It's called car surfing, hanging onto a vehicle as it speeds down a roadway. The stunts are posted online and the videos are wildly popular, but one slip could lead to disaster. Student Dakota Rebel almost died when she slipped off a car as it was moving around her high school parking lot. Surveillance video shows her falling off.
911, where's your emergency? A girl fell off a car and she's bleeding.
The FDA has a big warning: don't cook chicken in NyQuil. A new social media challenge is encouraging people to cook their food in NyQuil and other over-the-counter cough products.
It's the latest craze sweeping social media. The milk crate challenge, but you definitely don't want to try it. But it's a very dangerous stunt that's landing people in the emergency room.
We've reported on toddlers mistaking those laundry detergent pods for candy. Now a government watchdog group says teenagers are misusing them. Apparently, it's the latest rage on social media. They call it Take the Tide Pod Challenge. But why? These are dangerous chemicals linked to several recent deaths. Some of the victims were young children. Others were seniors with dementia.
The Blackout Challenge is arguably the most dangerous, which encourages children to strangle or suffocate themselves until they black out.
Many children think it's just a game, getting a rush from fainting.
I thought it's like a cool game, but I didn't know it was dangerous.
During recess, 11-year-old Ahmed noticed some of his classmates playing a game. They asked him if he wanted to play and instructed him to take 16 deep breaths.
When I opened my eyes, I saw myself in the ground. I was bleeding.
Ahmed had fainted and fell face first onto the concrete. His face is now badly bruised and scraped. Sometimes children are choking each other until they pass out. Other times they are choking themselves. But each time it has the same potentially deadly consequences.
8-year-old Leilani Walton, 9-year-old Ariana Arroyo. Two little girls, fatal victims, died after attempting the so-called Blackout Challenge. Vivacious, effervescent, and full of life. Words used to describe 9-year-old Ariana Arroyo, a third grader. Her life coming to a tragic end, her parents say, after attempting the TikTok Blackout Challenge.
Why in the world would children be doing this? Are they risking death just to be seen online, or do they simply not know better? Well, first, we're going to meet a family whose biggest fear came true just 2 months ago. After learning their 14-year-old son participated in this Blackout Challenge, and it ultimately cost him his life.
Our son Tate was 14 years old and passed away due to one of these social media challenges.
Tate was a great kid. He had a lot going for him. Many friends, very popular. His friends have been in shock, like everybody else in our family. So unexpected. We've just been totally heartbroken to have lost him, and we feel the void every day and every moment of him being gone. And if I can help another child not to do this, and their family and friends not to go through this, then to me that's everything.
Well, joining us now are Chanel and Michael, parents to 14-year-old Tate.
There's no words.
I know there aren't. As hollow and shallow as it sounds, I'm so sorry for your loss. Michael, as a father of two boys, I just can't even imagine what you must be going through right now.
I've always just considered it such a pleasure and an honor to be a dad. And Tate, he's a wonderful kid. He's a wonderful person, and I miss him so much.
Yeah, I can't even imagine. And Chanel, I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know what you say to yourself when you've done so many right things with this young man. A student, so many friends, no history of any problems, issues. He certainly wasn't depressed. He was very disciplined, about to receive his black belt in Taekwondo. Robin and I were talking about this. Our son at that age, just about that age, had just gotten his black belt in Taekwondo, and we knew what discipline that took to go through. And just a wonderful young man. And you guys had no idea that he even had a social media app, right? Because you've monitored this and had talked to him about this, right?
Right.
That's right.
Yeah, he'd asked for certain apps and we told him no. And so we were very much in shock when we found TikTok on his phone.
You can put all the parental controls in the world on, but there's still ways, the friend's phone, all different kinds of ways.
Yeah.
So what do you think was his motive? What do you think was appealing to him or attracted to him about this? Was it curiosity?
I think he was always a curious kid. He was always very curious. He had asked Mike just a couple months before about passing out, if his dad had ever passed out. And we went into the dangers of it then. And then there was a time I walked by and he was sitting on the sofa and had one of his hands up near his neck. And I asked him what he was doing. And he told me that he wondered how lightheaded he could get. And we talked about the dangers. But he was always just a curious kid. And I don't know, after this happened, we actually had a parent of a friend come to us. And Mike and I had not heard of this pass out, blackout challenge, and had said to us, have you guys heard of this? And that's when we started researching and put things together. And
this is what we believe really happened.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And you're a pediatric nurse.
I have worked in peds, yes.
Yeah, and so you had talked to him about the dangers of some of these things, right? And
yes,
how easy it is.
You take a 14-year-old brain that's not developed, has hormones, and is making choices. And it's a moment. It's an impulsive moment of what they've seen is what I truly believe.
The last part of their brain to develop is the prefrontal cortex, the neocortex, and that's the part of the brain that has foresight, the ability to predict the consequences of the actions. That's the executive part of the brain. And the fact that it doesn't develop until at least 25 and really fully until into their 30s for males. That means that a 14-year-old kid can, A, lack impulse control and the ability to see around corners.
Right.
And given an impulse, they truly don't go through, they don't sort through, well, this could happen, or this could happen, or this could happen, or this could happen. It's just in that moment, there's the impulse and the testosterone flowing in the veins and everything is like, hey, take a shot.
Yeah.
And it's really hard to be angry or frustrated as much as I'm sure that's part of your emotion, that he would do something to put himself in harm's way, but that wasn't his thought process.
No, it wasn't.
Our last words were, love you, Tate, love you, Mom, right as he went to bed.
This was 15 minutes, right?
Yeah, it was about 15 minutes, and I had just the strongest impression to go check on him, and I unfortunately found him, and it's just been devastating to our family. There's no words to describe the nightmare that you're living.
Right. Well, we're going to talk more about this. Chanel and Michael say they hope to save even one life with this conversation. More with this wonderful couple when we come back.
The artificial intelligence is designed to show kids things that appeal to them, even if it's psychologically disturbing. A 12-year-old girl is interested in healthy food, and the algorithms lead her to anorexic content.
Coming January 21st.
I'm back. Life has been pretty busy for winter. No more Kevin. Kevin is gone.
Your new song.
To a new hit.
Your new song. What is
Listen,
it? Tell me about the song.
It's centered around gutter Barbies.
Gutter Barbie.
Yes.
What's that?
In the midst of my frustrations, I referred to Arena and Ashley as gutter Barbies.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Over 100 million Americans have low or no credit. Self is a new way to build credit. No credit score required. Self customers who start under 600 and make on-time payments see a 49-point bump in their credit score on average. Download the app today.
With Acorns, every time you spend, you invest. Buying a hot dog? That's investing. Getting gas? That's investing. Getting treats? That's investing. Start investing with just your spare change.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open book.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha. Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Let the chips fall where they may. Tension's gonna fly.
Everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well.
If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen.
There are some things that I've heard.
It's so embarrassing. Okay, sweetheart. Next. I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central.
TikTok is being sued again.
The families of 2 little girls say TikTok caused their deaths by pushing dangerous challenges. Attorneys in this case are making arguments about the way TikTok is designed instead of focusing on content.
It cannot be coincidental that there's been so many children that have been confronted with this blackout challenge. I mean, what is it about the design of an algorithm that connects children to this kind of dangerous content?
We're back talking with Michael and Chanel about the devastating loss of their 14-year-old son, Tate. And they believe, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that he is gone due to a social media trend. Also joining us on stage is Matthew Bergman, founding attorney of the Social Media Victims Law Center, the first of its kind, whose mission is to hold social media companies legally accountable for the harm they inflict on vulnerable users. And you just saw a news clip about one of Attorney Bergman's cases, because unfortunately, more and more young children and teens are dying and getting seriously injured from these challenges. And today we're talking specifically about the blackout challenge, which may be the most deadly of all. Matthew, thank you so much for being here.
Well, thank you for airing this issue. It's going to make a big difference.
Sadly, you've got over 1,000 different cases in terms of people that have been hurt, injured, or killed by this, correct?
That's true. And but it's also an honor to do the work and an honor to represent families like Michael and Chanel.
Now, look, how are these kids getting on these platforms, and how do these challenges get on their screens? What's happening?
Well, two things. One is that, you've seen that this family did everything they thought they could do to protect their kids. But these products are designed to evade parental authority.
We always hear about algorithms.
Yeah.
And most people, I don't think I could give a accurate, comprehensive definition of what a social media algorithm is. Can you tell people in plain language what that means?
Sure. Well, they make their money by maximizing the amount of time that kids spend on screen. And so they've designed an algorithm that gives kids content that keeps them on. And just as the nature of the dopamine effect is that over time, if people see stuff that's boring, they're going to stop watching it. And so the artificial intelligence is designed to show kids things that appeal to them, and that even if it's psychologically disturbing. And so you have these rabbit holes that kids go down. A 12-year-old girl is interested in healthy food, and the algorithms lead her to anorexic content. They're being fed dangerous material that they don't even want to see. And we know this not from simply what we present. Their own research shows this. A third of TikTok, a third of Instagram users don't want to be online as much as they are.
All right. So what steps can these social media sites take to prevent these kinds of things from happening? What do they need to do that they're not doing?
Some things, and the saddest thing is it's very easy. Turn down the algorithms so that a child who wants to look at something is actually shown content that they want to see. And kids don't want to see blackout videos. Don't show them that. And the other thing is you can have age verification. You can ensure that predatory adults aren't contacting kids. All of this is state-of-the-art technology, and it could easily be implemented. The other thing is limiting screen time. I mean, there's no earthly reason why a child should be online more than an hour, 2 hours a day, and yet we know kids are online at all hours of the day and night.
Do you have any idea how much screen time was involved?
So Tate's screen time had increased during the summer months because with his taekwondo, he had an injury to his foot during the summer months. And so he was on screen time more than he normally is, which has been hard as a parent. He's 14 and his friends are out riding their scooters and things like that. And he had an injury to his foot. So we let him play more. We let him on devices more than the norm.
You guys are probably taking your own inventory and kicking yourselves about what you could do differently here. I don't have a list for you guys. You're responsible, attentive parents that had an open dialogue with your son about this. But you're up against an artificial intelligence beast here that is so sophisticated and so ubiquitous, it's I mean, there's no match here.
Yeah.
It's very difficult and invisible at the same time. We're going to have to take a break, and we're going to add another set of parents to this conversation who claim their 12-year-old son was bullied into attempting this blackout challenge, and it ultimately cost him his life. We'll be right back.
We were hyper vigilant about what type of apps that he had installed. The problem is that as soon as he gets on that bus, everybody else has it.
Starting Friday. You gotta get with it or get lost. Ready to Love returns with new episodes, followed by the new series, All the Single Ladies.
You ladies have decided?
I empathize. Friday at 8/7 Central. Part of Real Drama Weekends on OWN. Coming January 21st.
The Samuels are looking to the D word, divorce, separate, something like that.
Did they say divorce or separate? What? We just had a whole show prep with our producer, and no one told me we was gonna bring us up live on the air today.
She says that her and her husband are trying to fix their marriage of denying any divorce rumors.
All marriages go through stuff. Does that mean we're separated, getting divorced? Absolutely not.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes, Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Tensions gonna fly. Everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well.
If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen.
There are some things that I've heard.
It's so embarrassing.
Okay, sweetheart.
Next. I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode, Friday, 8/7 Central.
This is Mary Ann's first time visiting Paris.
Madame, où allez-vous?
Before Mary Ann packed her bags, before she attempted her first sentence in French, before she completed her first 15-minute lesson,
Yes.
she downloaded Babbel. Babbel helped unlock her lifelong dream of learning French. She started speaking in just 3 weeks. So when it came time to tell the cab driver to take her to the Hotel Pierre,
J'aimerais aller à l'Hôtel Pierre.
Oh, c'est très bien. J'espère que votre voyage s'est bien passé.
150 language experts and educators designed Babbel to be the most efficient and effective way to learn a new language. Babbel focuses on natural conversation. You'll remember what you learn, and you can speak and pronounce with confidence. Start speaking a new language in 3 weeks. Try it for free at Babbel.com.
Do you want your man or not? Do you know your plans or not? You gonna go back home or not? You gonna claim your throne or not? Is you Khaleesi or that other name I don't remember?
All these young, untimely deaths.
For your kid, fame can be poisonous.
He shared with me something, I hesitate to even say it.
The Price of Glee, 3-part limited series. Monday at 9 on ID.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open book. The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh,
I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Evan died. His death ruled accidental. Dana says other students told her Evan was dared to do the choking game.
He felt a peer pressure, and he tried it, not knowing that he was going to die.
We're back talking about dangerous social media trends, specifically one called the Blackout Challenge, because it is so high risk. It is so potentially deadly. Now, you just saw my next guest, Dana, speaking to her local news back in 2016 after the tragic loss of her son, Evan. Now, unfortunately, there's more to Dana and her husband, Matt's story.
When it comes to social media challenges, a lot of kids think that they're just games.
Social media challenges can be dangerous and even deadly.
Sometimes kids are even bullied into doing these social media challenges. Our son was bullied and dared by a bully at school to participate in the choking game.
Bullying has become a crisis in our schools. I talked with a mother whose son was victimized.
It started off with him just like calling him names or picking on him. In the cafeteria, he would throw things at him.
Dana Zimniak says her son Evan was bullied in 6th grade, and when Evan was stabbed with a pencil on the bus, he told her he'd had enough.
He's like, I don't feel like I want to live anymore, Mommy. I just don't want to live. And he was 12. This bully had explained to our son step by step how to do this challenge.
They found Evan with a rope, but also with a stopwatch on his wrist, and he never wore that stopwatch before. I believe he did this not knowing that it was going to be dangerous to him, and certainly not that it would cost his life.
I had never heard of this choking game blackout challenge ever in my life. In just an instant, our lives were shattered completely. Since losing Evan almost 7 years ago, I have devoted my life to trying to spread awareness. We feel like if we're able to even reach one family and one child and save them from this deadly challenge and from losing their child, then we feel that our son's death will not be in vain.
Well, thank you both for being here. It would be so much easier to not be here, and you've just resolved to use Evan's life, and as you say, try and make an impact here.
Yes.
And when this happened, how did you learn how this came about and how he got baited into this?
Well, at first, I didn't know. We had come across something called the choking game, and, you know, we looked at it and everything, you know, it sounded just what happened to our son. And it was actually after we had our son's death changed to accidental, a student reached out to me and said, I don't think Evan killed himself. And I said, no, we know he didn't. What do you mean? And he told us that the day before we lost our son, he overheard this particular student daring our son to this choking game and describing in detail how to do it. And basically that's how we found him.
Yeah. Now, you know, Matt, you work in cybersecurity. So, you know, just like you guys being on point about this, you didn't want him involved in any of this at all in any way, period, paragraph.
No, we definitely didn't. We were hyper vigilant about what type of apps that he had installed, especially social media. We totally restricted it. The problem is that as soon as he gets on that bus, everybody else has it. And he's in school and everybody else has the apps and they see the content. So even if you don't allow your child to have it, they're going to get exposed to it.
He had a stopwatch.
Yes. And he never wore that. And I knew when I saw that, that meant something. I thought he was trying to time himself, you know.
It was actually in stopwatch mode.
It was in stopwatch mode,
So I mean, he had it in stopwatch mode, so you know he was timing himself.
Yes.
And again, not understanding how this goes, and not understanding the curve and how you can black out, which is...
They don't understand. And the thing that I say too is that, you know, they're hearing about it from these other kids. And for those who've seen it on social media, they're watching other children do it. They're laughing, they're having a good time. It does not look scary and certainly doesn't look like they could die from it.
And their own documents show that they know that their products are harming kids and they know that they could make them safer. They just know that it'll cost them a little bit of money to do that.
So who is most susceptible to peer pressure? These are things we need to talk about, and I want to hear from the audience when we come back. Closed captioning provided by...
Something about the Playboy brand had a little bit more of a mystique to it.
It's a ticket to the highlight.
Nothing can prepare you for that.
The Playboy Murders, all new series, Monday, January 23rd at 10 on ID.
I think it's my time to find love.
I want to date younger men. I'm as sexual as I was in my teens.
Where's all the men at?
Here we go. It just got real.
Bedtime is rough, and we'll go to extremes to fall asleep. Tempur-Pedic adapts to your body's needs to help you fall asleep faster and stay asleep longer. So head to Ashley to find your perfect Tempur-Pedic and get 0% interest for 60 months.
When you find your reason to go on, let it pull you past the doubt, past the pain, and past your limits. No matter what, we go on. BioFreeze.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Tension's gonna fly. Everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well.
If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen.
There are some things that I heard.
It's so embarrassing.
Okay, sweetheart.
Next. I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central. Coming January 21st.
I'm back. Life has been pretty busy for winter. No more Kevin. Kevin is gone. Your new song. A new hit. The new song. What is Listen, it? Tell me about the song. It's centered around gutter Barbies. Gutter Barbie. Yes. What's that?
In the midst of my frustrations, I referred to Arena and Ashley as gutter Barbies.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central. Starting Friday. You gotta get with it or get lost. Ready to Love returns with new episodes, followed by the new series All the Single Ladies.
You ladies have decided?
I am a prize. Friday at 8/7 Central. Part of Real Drama Weekends on OWN.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open bud.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3. Saturday at 8/7 Central.
Egypt and Mike are back to business.
Winning.
Balancing project bids.
Offer accepted.
And busy kids.
Here we go.
This team tackles it all.
You can do that.
I can do anything.
Yeah.
Married to Real Estate premieres Thursday at 9 on HGTV.
Senators pressured executives from Snapchat, TikTok, and YouTube yesterday at a hearing, warning them to do more to protect young users.
The problem is clear. Big tech preys on children and teens to make more money.
Lawmakers confronted the companies about the dangers social media can pose to kids, content glorifying eating disorders and suicide, bullying, and violent challenges going viral.
Several senators are working on legislation to offer better protections to children on social media, but when they tried to pin down the executives as to whether or not they would support those measures, they didn't get clear answers.
They didn't get clear answers. What, are they too busy? Is there something more important than America's youth? I mean, come on. At some point, we need to start holding the people accountable that we have elected and put in position to do the things that they were hired to do. And when they don't, we need to fire their dead ass and get other people in there to do the jobs they were hired to do. When you're talking about holding these people accountable, they need to be held accountable. I don't care whether you're Democrat or Republican. Am I right or am I wrong? If they're not doing it, if they're getting contributions, if they got lobbyists talking in their ears, if they're not doing their jobs, they need to do their jobs or they need to be replaced. It's just that simple. Now, I want to hear from the audience. What do you guys think about all of this? Say your name and what do you have to say?
My name is Denzel Chris. I'm actually a creator on TikTok as well.
Okay.
I just want to give my heart out to the family first and say my condolences go out to you guys and everyone else out there. My heart is so heavy right now. But I just want to say, I think as a creator, a lot of kids look up to us. And I think for myself, I'll speak for myself, I think we need to start knowing what we're putting out there for kids to watch. Any creator in here can take this as a lesson
and know what you're putting out before you put it out for everyone to see.
It has an impact. I've been on the air like 21 years here and 5 years on Oprah before this. And I've said before, people ask me how I feel about spanking a child. I've made it very clear, I don't agree with spanking a child. And it wouldn't matter if I did, because if I said I did, some mouth breather somewhere would take that and distort it and use it as justification for beating a child. They'll distort it. So I have to be careful what I say, even leaning in one direction, whatever, for it being misinterpreted and misused. And if you've got a content creator on social media that's doing something that doesn't even need to be misinterpreted, standing on top of a car on a freeway at 60 miles an hour, that's just stupid. There's no other filter to put around that. Choking yourself into unconsciousness, I'm sorry, there's no context or no frame that you can put around that. And if the algorithm is feeding that to young, impressionable children, gee, what could go wrong here? I mean, that is just dangerous, dangerous, dangerous. This has to stop. I mean, it just absolutely has to stop. And you think, boy, you wish you had had that conversation with your son ahead of time. You did have that conversation with your son ahead of time.
Yes.
You did. You're cybersecurity. You even when you do the right things, it overwhelms parental vigilance.
Yeah, and it's designed to do that.
It's designed to do that.
It's not an accident. I am so sorry for your loss. I know exactly what you're going through. I took Dr. Phil's advice, and it did help.
Closed captioning provided by...
I was always the competitive one in our family, until my sister signed up for United Healthcare Medicare Advantage.
Wow.
Now she's got a whole team to help her get the most out of her plan.
Wow.
With coverage that's better than ever for dental, vision, prescription drugs, and more.
Advantage me.
Can't wait till I turn 65.
AARP Medicare Advantage plans, only from United Healthcare. Take advantage now at uhc.com/Medicare.
The ABCs of CKD. A is for awareness, because knowing that your chronic kidney disease and type 2 diabetes could progress to dialysis is important. B is for belief that there may be more you can do. Just remember that K is for kidneys and Kerendia. For adults living with CKD and type 2 diabetes, Kerendia is proven to reduce the risk of kidney failure, which can lead to dialysis. Kerendia is a once-daily tablet that treats CKD differently than type 2 diabetes medications to help slow the progression of kidney damage and reduce the risk of cardiovascular events, such as heart attacks. Do not take Kerendia if you have problems with your adrenal glands or take certain medications called CYP3A4 inhibitors. Kerendia can cause hyperkalemia, which is high potassium levels in your blood. Ask your doctor before taking products containing potassium. Kerendia can also cause low blood pressure and low sodium levels. So now that you know your ABCs, remember K is for kidneys. And if you need help slowing kidney damage, ask your doctor about Kerendia.
Do you want your man or not? Do you know your plans or not? You gonna go back home or not? You gonna claim your throne or not? Is you Khaleesi or that other name I don't remember?
Something about the Playboy brand had a little bit more of a mystique to it.
It's a ticket to the highlight.
Love can prepare you for that.
The Playboy Murders, all new series, Monday, January 23rd at 10 on ID.
Let the chips fall where they may.
Tension's gonna fly. Everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well.
If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen.
There are some things that I've heard.
It's so embarrassing. Okay, sweetheart. Next.
I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open bud.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central.
People gonna talk in D.C.
Yo, we coming.
They're claiming the Samuels are looking to divorce.
Him and his dad are not speaking.
Wait.
Welcome.
We're gonna be out on our own little island. It's called peace.
I'm gonna go before I whip your ass.
Sisterhood just went out the window.
I'm back. Then own that. And again.
Love and Marriage DC returns Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Back in 2005, my next guest lost her 13-year-old twin son, Gabe, to the choking game, 2005. She came to see me with her surviving twin, Samuel, to try and sort this out, deal with the burdensome grief. It's been 17 years since we last saw Sarah, but she continues to advocate for Gabriel and spread awareness. We're talking today about teenagers virtually strangling each other to experience a calm and tingly high. Sarah's son Gabe tragically died after playing this extremely risky game.
17 years ago, in 2005, my twin boys, Samuel and Gabriel, who were 13 at the time, were playing the choking game. 3 months after Gabriel's death, I sat down with Dr. Phill. I felt like my life was over.
I'm angry that I didn't know about the dangers of this game.
You didn't lose both of your sons, thank God.
Thank God.
And my question is, how are you doing with the one that's there?
It's a bad thing. It's a bad situation.
My relationship with Samuel fell apart.
You've got this young man that is sitting here and saying, you know, I miss you. If you want to save a child, start with this one. Start right here.
Dr. Phill said something that I will always remember, and that was the way that Gabriel died should not be his legacy.
You say you want to honor Gabriel's life. You can't do that if you focus on the event and cause and day and moment of his death. He was a source of joy to you. If he looks down on you now, I don't want him to see pain and disconnection and loneliness and say, that's my legacy, that's what I've left behind. I want him to see you celebrating your life, celebrating his life, celebrating this young man's life.
Being on the Dr. Phill Show allowed millions of people to become aware of this deadly activity. I would like to thank Dr. Phill for his advice and for continuing to bring awareness about this deadly activity and to continue talking about it.
Sarah?
How are you?
Been a long time.
Been a long time.
And you're still fighting the battle. You're still helping and advocating for this. And
I'm
God
still
bless
talking.
you for doing it.
I'm up and running. I am so sorry for your loss. I know exactly what you're going through, and I remember well. And I want to applaud you for talking and working and reaching out. I think it's amazing. When I appeared on Dr. Phill in 2005, I couldn't see out. I couldn't see out of my grief bubble, and I didn't see a way out. And I spent probably 12, 14 hours a day looking for other children that had died the same way Gabriel died. It was exhausting. Eventually, I took Dr. Phill's advice, and it did help. I didn't want the way Gabriel died to be his legacy. I could not see being happy ever again. I could not imagine feeling joy ever again. I could not. I mean, even go to the grocery store and seeing his favorite cereal on the shelf was mind-blowing. And I mean, I'd just have to turn around, and I would break down in the car and in the shower. So I know where how you are, especially right now in the raw moment, and what you also experienced. But I once again, I applaud you for speaking out, and thank you so much, Dr. Phill, and your production staff for doing this again.
You've impacted so many lives. You've impacted our life.
I'll never forget that show. And I'll never forget Philip coming down and sitting on the stage
I'm talking to you.
If you Walmart, you know. With everyday low prices, your dollar goes even further. So you can do more with the people you love. You spend a little less to get a little more. To make life a little better.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improving in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
NetSpend notification?
Yep, just got paid. Direct deposit to my NetSpend card.
NetSpend All Access account, an FDIC insured account for your everyday mobile banking needs. No cost to open, no credit check, and no minimum balance. Get started today at netspend.com.
Max. No. Max! Max! Max!
Dogs don't know what's good for them. Luckily, you do. Greenie's Dental Treats.
To Beth for telling us about Peptiva Nighttime Probiotics.
To Beth! Welcome, ladies.
You know, the best thing about Peptiva is that I can digest food like a kid again.
No, the best thing is that I get to sleep like a kid again.
Digestion.
Ladies, with Peptiva, you get both.
Peptiva is the first doctor-formulated probiotic that works at night with key ingredients backed by 7 clinical studies. And right now, you can get a complimentary sample by texting BANK to 321321. Peptiva works while you sleep to soothe indigestion, cramping, bloating, even constipation, while promoting digestive health. And it has time-released melatonin to help you get the best sleep of your life.
Okay, girls, what do we have next week?
Tacos.
Wings. Chili!
Peptiva is flying off the shelves at GNC, but you can only get your complimentary sample by texting BANK to 321321. Text now, and we'll include a box of Peptiva digestive enzymes to help your body digest meals and avoid occasional gas and discomfort absolutely free. That's BANK to 321321.
You don't want to miss.
You have a dark soul. Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3, Saturday at 8/7 Central. Starting Friday. You gotta get with it or get lost. Ready to Love returns with new episodes, followed by the new series, All the Single Ladies.
You ladies have decided?
I am apprised. Friday at 8/7 Central. Part of Real Drama Weekends on OWN.
People ask me sometimes what makes a lasting impression on me. And, you know, Robin and I have talked about you and your situation. And, you know, your daughter's next to you. Were a freshman in college, I think, at the time, right?
I was, yeah.
And Elizabeth is now, you have children?
I have 3 children.
You have 3 children, and you know, life does go on, and you know, we have to find ways, and you don't ever get over it, you just get through it. You find a way to get through it and try and create meaning of it. But this is not something, even for those around, you've impacted so many lives, you've impacted our life, and you certainly impacted Robin's, because we've talked about it, Robin.
Yes. You know, I've sat in this chair for every show, 21 years, and it's very, very hard to get through these shows that are about young children. I'm so sorry for your loss, and I honor you, and you're so brave to want to help others. I admire all of you so much, and especially your show. I have a twin brother, and there is a bond that you cannot replace. I'll never forget that show. And I'll never forget Philip coming down and sitting on the stage and talking to you. And I'm so sorry for your loss. Even then, we now have a grandchild the age of Gabe when you lost him. So it stays with us always, especially children, especially. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm sorry for your loss. I'm happy that you're here.
Sarah, how is Samuel doing?
Samuel is a fine, fine young man. He's 31 now and is expecting his first child in December. And thank you. You know, I put that kid through it, and I'm amazed by how well all of my children came out of it. I'm amazed that I came out of it, but I did, and I did find joy again. And I really want to stress that point. You will find joy again, and you will laugh, and things are going to make you laugh when you remember your son instead of cry at some point.
I wait for that day.
Everybody grieves differently, and the length and the breadth and of our grief in no way reflects the depth of our love for the person that we've lost. It's not that if you grieve horribly for 2 years that you love that person more than someone that grieved terribly for 1 year. Everybody grieves differently, and people always ask me, what do you do when you see them in the grocery store? What do you do when you see them on the street? They look to be doing okay. I don't want to bring them down. Do I bring it up? Do I not bring it up? I want to answer that question for you and make one other point when we come back. Closed captioning provided by...
Do you want your man or not? Do you know your plans or not? You gonna go back home or not? You gonna claim your throne or not? Is you Khaleesi or that other name I don't remember?
Egypt and Mike are back to business.
Winning.
Balancing project bids.
Offer accepted.
And busy kids.
Here we go.
This team tackles it all.
You can do that. I can do anything.
Yeah. Married to Real Estate premieres Thursday at 9 on HGTV.
Coming January 21st.
I'm back. Life has been pretty busy for winter. No more Kevin. Kevin is gone.
Your new song.
So a new hit.
The new song. What is
Listen,
it? Tell me about the song.
It's centered around gutter Barbies.
Gutter Barbie.
Yes.
What's that?
In the midst of my frustrations, I referred to Arena and Ashley as gutter Barbies.
Love and Marriage DC. New episodes Saturday, January 21st at 8/7 Central.
Something about the Playboy brand had a little bit more of a mystique to it.
It's a ticket to the highlight.
Love can prepare you for
The Playboy Murders, all new series, Monday, January 23rd at 10 on ID.
I think it's my time to find love.
I want to date younger men.
I'm as sexual as I was in my teens.
Where's all the men at?
Here we go.
It just got real.
Turn it up now. I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now there's Skyrizi. With Skyrizi, most people who achieve 90% clearer skin at 4 months had lasting clearance through 1 year.
Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms, had a vaccine, or plan to.
Talk to your dermatologist about Skyrizi. Learn how AbbVie could help you save.
This isn't Charmin. No wonder I don't feel as clean.
Hurry up, Dad. You've been in there forever.
I'm trying. This cheap stuff is too thin.
I told you not to get the other toilet paper. Here's the new Charmin Ultra Strong.
Ah, my bottom's been saved.
With its diamond weave texture, new Charmin Ultra Strong cleans better with fewer sheets and less effort.
What's everybody waiting for? This?
Okay, hon. We know you're clean.
We all go. Why not enjoy the go with Charmin?
Let the chips fall where they may. Tension's gonna fly.
everybody's dating each other, but everybody knows they're dating each other.
Your directness is getting out of hand.
When I saw that, I was like, oh, well.
If you're looking for a man, say amen.
Amen.
There are some things that I've heard.
It's so embarrassing. Okay, sweetheart. Next. I think he's a fraud, and I don't think he's a good person.
It's only gonna get worse. I ain't gonna do this with everybody.
This is too much.
Ready to Love. New episode Friday, 8/7 Central.
Come on, open book.
Okay, open bud.
The 3-part reunion concludes.
She is the definition of the devil. You have a dark soul. Oh.
Damn, Tisha.
Damn.
You don't want to miss.
Oh, you talking about when you hacked his phone?
What the f?
Oh, I'm gonna get past it.
You are changing so many lives.
This.
I'm very concerned about you.
Love and Marriage Huntsville New Reunion Part 3. Saturday at 8/7 Central.
If this is important to you, you need to let the people that represent you, the politicians that represent you, know that it's important to you, that these platforms need to be held accountable. They have the technology to change what's going on. So they need to use that technology to protect children and not exploit children. And the people that have the power to enforce that need to enforce it. And for those of you that have lost these, it absolutely breaks my heart. And I said before the break, I have people ask me, when you see someone that has lost someone like y'all have, they'll say, I see them at church or at the grocery store or whatever, and they seem to be kind of peaceful at the moment. I haven't seen them since it happened. Should I bring it up or should I not bring it up? The answer is yes, bring it up. Because they may seem like they're doing okay, but if you act like nothing happened, that's an insult. They know it happened. They know it happened. You need to know they know it happened. So you might as well look them in the eye and say, I'm very sorry for what happened, and I want you to know I know, and if there's something I can do, maybe you have a petition, maybe you have something going on, maybe whatever, let them know. But don't just act like nothing happened, because it did happen, and they know it. Now, after her son's death, Dana wrote a book, Blue is the Color of Heaven, and she says it really helped her process. Parents, I hope you can have open conversations with your children about these online challenges. Don't think they don't know about them, whether you let them be on those platforms or not, because as you say, every kid in the bus has this, every kid in the cafeteria has it. These parents came here today in hopes to save at least one life. I guarantee you, you have. Now, for more information about today's episode, or if you'd like to share your story, log on to drphill.com and let us know what you would like to talk about, because I do these shows based on what you tell me is important to you. You guys being so open here today is really great. And Matthew, with your permission, I'd like to put a link.
I'd be honored. I'd be honored. Thank you.
So people can find you, because you have a lot of clients you don't need anymore, but I hope you'll take more. And because there are people out there that don't know where to turn. And you specialize in this, and I'd like to put a link on the website so people know how to find you to get some counsel.
Thank you, Dr. Phill.
About this, because he's very devoted to this. I'd like to take a moment to honor Tate, Evan, and Gabriel as we remember anyone we have lost too soon from these dangerous challenges.
Tate was a great kid. He had a lot going for him. Many friends, very popular. We've just been totally heartbroken. We fill the void every day.
Our son Evan was a very, very smart little boy. He had a lot of interests in history, Civil War. He was wise beyond his years.
Gabe was such a wonderful son. He was full of life. He loved to be outdoors. He loved to fish, swim, ski. He was just a fun kid. Gabe will always be missed by all of us.
Our hearts go out to the families who have lost their loved ones. Be safe. We'll see you next time.